Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. Payment delays, staff cuts, these are things that are now happening in the VA. Now, is this the tip of the iceberg? Are we going to see more problems with the VA as we move forward? We're getting closer and closer every single month to, we'll call it the drop dead date for the reduction in staff. And now we're starting to see effects starting to roll into the VA with regard to their ability to deliver services. Where are we at? We're going to jump into it here. I did find an article on this that I wanted to share. Before we jump into it, though, I want to throw out a special thank you to Robin Shane. Robin Shane, thank you so much for that super comment, super chat. I really do appreciate your support very much. Robin Shane 9362. All right, so on Dayton Daily News, this is where I found this specific article. There's more out there, but wanted to run through this one. The headline, payment delays, staff cuts impede VA programs. And again, is this the tip of the iceberg? Are we going to see this parlay, if you will, into other potential issues, payment delays and so forth? No, but there is nobody out there that wants to hear payment delays. So let's jump into this. Hit the thumbs up for me, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I really do appreciate it. I do my best to get this information out to you so you're aware of what's going on. And whether it applies to you or not, it applies to one of our brothers or sisters. And it's just good to be aware of what is going on with not only the VA, but other things out there, whether it's a piece of legislation that could impact veterans or even stuff at the state level, I will throw out as well. So let's jump into this. If you want to support in other ways, consider being a member. Thank you so much to all you members. I truly appreciate your support. All right, so let's jump into this here. So the veterans advocacy groups warned lawmakers that payment delays to vendors and staff cuts at the Department of Veterans Affairs are creating delays and barriers for individuals with disabilities trying to modify their homes and vehicles with specialized equipment. And I'll continue going on here, but let me throw out to you again that this could be just the tip of the spear. This could be the first domino, if you will. Also, if you're not aware of the ability to utilize the VA and VA benefits for different sort of home renovations as well as vehicle adaptation, there are programs for that, and I'll do another video. I've done many videos on that stuff, but I will do more videos here shortly, so keep your eyes open on that as well. All right, so let's jump back into this article. Julie Howell, Associate Legislative Director of Paralyzed Veterans of America, the PVA, told lawmakers at an oversight hearing of the House Veterans Affairs Committee, or subcommittee, if you will, on economic opportunity. Let's see what she said. She said that that larger caseloads at the VA have effectively ended in-person inspections of modified homes for veterans with disabilities. Instead, many of the reviews are done virtually. Howell and other advocates for disabled veterans also cited chronic payment delays of 6 months or more by the VA when veterans try to purchase vehicles with specialized or special equipment, such as mechanical hand controls and wheelchair tie-downs. I'm just going to throw in there, because we're talking about delays, this is also, in my opinion, a problem on the community care side that needs to be addressed if we are looking at bolstering community care. The doctors aren't going to sign up to be a partner if they're not getting paid, at least paid in a somewhat reasonable time frame. All right, so moving back on in this article, the hearing Wednesday was a review of VA's adaptive programs for disabled veterans. Representative Chris Papas emphasized the importance of VA providing the benefits and services that veterans with catastrophic injuries and terminal illnesses require to safely live in their homes and use their personal vehicles. Rachel McArdle, I'm not sure, Deputy Executive Director of Rehabilitation and Prosthetic Services at the VA on the VHA side, Veterans Health Administration, said that specialty adaptive housing program has approved more than 2,000 grants annually for the past 6 or 7 years. The VA recently initiated a process to automate the grants program from an application to compliance inspection upon completion. But Howell, over at the PVA, said many of the paralyzed veterans who use the service believe a shift to virtual reviews is not as effective as a walkthrough of a home. This leaves a lot, quotation here, this leaves a lot of room for errors and mistakes, and therefore begs the question, who will be responsible for subpar construction or inappropriate materials when remote inspections are the only option, Howell said. Under the Adaptive Housing Program, veterans with severe disabilities receive VA assistance for remodeling and construction. That may range from wheelchair ramps to changes to bathrooms and kitchens to improve accessibility. Howell also said that the VA grants for veterans to make minor home adjustments have not increased since 2010. She said 2 pieces of legislation before Congress would raise the amount to enable grant amounts to change with inflation, which I am a huge proponent of. You can't leave something here while the costs of everything go to here, right? We already know how COLA feels. And that doesn't even move well. But there needs to be adjustments moving upward. It's been 15 years since there's been a change. So I am all about that. Moving on, there's another quotation here. And it says, the Special Adaptive Housing Program plays an important role in providing customizable adaptations for severely service-connected disabled veterans to adapt their homes to make them more accessible, to lead their lives comfortably, said Representative Derek Van Orden, subcommittee chairman. Another quotation, our wounded veterans are trapped in wheelchairs for the rest of their lives. All of this is about them, Van Orden said. The VA also provides benefits for modifying vehicles, such as adding mechanical hand controls and wheelchair tie-downs. The VA works with vendors that provide and install adaptive equipment. Side note, don't go on and do that type of stuff and then go ask the VA to pay for it. Get approved first for the adaptive equipment for the automobile stuff. Get approved first, then get that done. Make sure that the vendor, whoever does that type of work, understands the VA is involved and the VA understands that they're involved, and make sure that they can work together and all of that stuff. Anyway, moving on. Representative Tom Barrett asked about reports for VA payment delays of 6 months to a year to vendors who provide adaptive equipment for automobiles. Jason Latona, Assistant Director for Loan Guarantee Services at the VA, said the process is not centralized. Local VA offices handle the payments, and the agency is looking into complaints of bottlenecks and delays at some offices. Craig, I don't know the last name, Shrimshire? Close enough. President of North American Manufacturing at Bronnability, which builds wheelchair accessible vans, cited delays averaging 186 days to vendors when the expectation is for payment upon delivery of the modified vehicle. Wow. Shrimshire described a lack of empathy and dismissive attitudes by VA staff, wonderful, for the disabled veterans. They are making life more complicated and expensive for the veteran, he said. Van Orden and other committee members suggested there needs to be more oversight and a consistent approach to VA's management of the program. Last quotation, my veterans are not beggars and should not be treated as such, Van Orden said. And that concludes it. Wanted to bring that to your awareness. And again, is this the tip of the spear of issues that we're going to start to uncover as we're moving forward? That needs to be rectified quickly. And my guess and feeling is that this is the same sort of issue that we're having on the community care side with regard to payment delays. And word travels quickly when you don't get paid, and it'll be hard to, we'll call it, recruit other community care providers into the VA's community care program if nobody's getting paid on time or they're getting paid low. Anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.